Texting. We are back to the sack. Welcome back to IDD. For those who know, I don't disagree. The redoubtable one himself, Thomas, the highly questionable one, Audrey Miliaccio. Segment 2.
Yikes.
All things NFL, pre-Super Bowl, pre-Pro Bowl, pre-draft, pre-Jerry Jones fuck-up number 187.
You still got to tell me what that is.
Yeah, we're going to delve into that one in segment 2, among other things. Oh, the Seattle Seahawks hired a coach today also.
That's right.
So now
Ravens D coordinator.
there is one spot left, America. And
there's not.
The Commanders don't have a coach.
That's right.
They're the only one left. They're the only one left.
I thought there was 2 for some
Mike Vrabel is still out there. Bill Belichick is still out there. If I'm the Commanders, it would behoove them to get one of those 2. But I think Vrabel would be the better choice right now.
What do you think happened with Ben Johnson saying no? Washington's a pretty good job, no?
Do they know who the GM is?
Yeah, they just got a guy from the Niners.
They did.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, they pulled a guy from the Niners, which if you look at personnel,
no, that's a good move.
I mean, they've been great.
You know, these are the programs that have been steady.
So
no, I would. That makes sense.
New owners.
Roster
has talent in a lot of different places.
It does. I don't know.
I mean, maybe he just wanted to run it back with the Lions, like people are saying.
Well, they didn't. You know, I think
they didn't finish.
If he thinks they're close, and he's not wrong. I have no problem. He's going to get another chance.
I'm not saying he made the wrong choice or anything like that. I'm just wondering what the thought process was.
I mean, do you want to go? I don't know. It depends on. Maybe he didn't think he was ready yet. That's true too. You know, I mean, he's making a lot of money to be an offensive coordinator or defensive, whatever he is. They're an offensive coordinator, right? You know, win the Super Bowl, and then you're. By the way, if he wins the Super Bowl, his price goes up as a Super Bowl champion. So he's only going to make more money if they finish the deal in Detroit, which they have a chance of doing, a legit chance of doing.
But so I'll say this. This is kind of my opinion of it. I kind of hope what you're saying is true because I'm a big believer in just because somebody is really good at one thing does not make them really good at the next thing that's actually different, completely different than what they do.
You have been proven over time to be right on that more than wrong.
Right.
Because the majority of them don't work.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's kind of like, when is enough enough? Yeah. You know, and I know that when you're working and you have a career, you know, there is one philosophy that you never stop pushing yourself to go upward because you constantly have to, you know, grow and learn more and, you know, you have to push yourself to the potential. Yeah. But then sometimes, like, you find a sweet spot. Is it so bad to stay in a role that you are good at, even if it's not at the top? Like, if you're happy, you're having success. I don't know. Some people are like, you got to challenge yourself. Take the hard work. There was a guy, I was at a summit where I work the other day, and we're kicking off the year. Yeah. And there was a guy, and he didn't say anything wrong, but he was like, when you can, take the take the hard road. He said, suffer as much as you can.
Even when you don't have to?
Yeah. He's saying, don't just take the road where you're more comfortable. And I got to push back a little bit because if I am happy doing what I'm doing.
See, if you're comfortable but not satisfied, that's a different thing.
Well, but what if you're satisfied just continuing to be the best you can at that thing?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's what I say.
If that's maybe look, that everybody has different goals.
Right.
What if this guy's goal was to be an NFL offensive coordinator and he's reached his goal and he's happy, then he's there.
But what if your goal is just to be happy? And, you know, kicking ass for the Lions as the offensive coordinator makes you happy.
A cherry on the sundae.
Yeah, like fuck. If you're happy doing that, there's nothing that says you have to become a head coach and get fired in 3 years.
I don't have a problem with this man's decision. He did what was best for him.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't know what's best for him. And despite of what I think.
Yeah.
I don't know the man. I don't know what satisfies him. And this guy that gave this speech for you, he's making a broad generalization. He can't tell you what people think.
He's giving his opinion.
That's his opinion.
Which maybe for him that works.
That works for him, and that's fine. I'm not knocking him for that, but that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Just not.
And I just think there's certain sects of our society that say, like, if you're not pushing yourself to the absolute limit,
Well,
you're not living life to the fullest. And it's kind of like
bullshit.
How can if that's what you believe, that's fine. But
when you live to work instead of work to live, you lose me right there. And again, if that's what you'd rather do with your life, go ahead. That's your life. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend my life working till I die.
Right.
I don't want that to be the basis of whether or not I define my life as whether or not I was successful or not.
Right.
And again, if that's your thing, you do you, and that's fine. I'm not judging you.
Yeah.
Me personally, I learned long ago that for me that doesn't work.
No. So
because I was successful and I wasn't happy.
Yeah. How could you be?
If all your life is work, and you're leaving before your kids are awake, and you're coming home after they're asleep. I mean, look. In my case, the reason I'm where I am now is because I, for the first time in my adult life, have work-life balance. I didn't have it ever before in my entire life, and I'm 50 now.
To me,
I just got it 3 years ago.
The most important thing.
Yeah.
Is being able to think about work when I'm at work and think about home when I'm at home. Yeah. And if I ever have to go in between the two, it's not that stressful to me.
Yeah.
Because if something happens and I have to log in or I have to send a text about work right now, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I mean, I think
it doesn't take over my day. Yeah. And if I'm at work and I have to do something for my family, my work's like, take care of your shit.
And of course, when you're making money and you're everybody, all your colleagues and peers are patting you on the back, and they're flying you out to places because you win national sales awards and things that I won. Yeah, that's all well and good, but you're missing the good stuff and what's really important. And then one day you wake up and you realize it.
Yeah.
And working 15-hour days and not being able to go see your son play basketball.
That sucks.
There's no paycheck. I'm sorry. There's no paycheck. I've made 6 figures in my life more than once. It's not, at that sacrifice, it's not worth it to me. It's not. Yeah. It's just not worth it to me. The most important thing, and I learned this from Stuart Scott when he died. He gave the speech. He goes, the most important thing I'll ever do in my life is be a father. And he wasn't wrong when he said that. Mm-hmm. So my life being a success or a failure, me personally, will be how do Mia and Anthony turn out. Mm-hmm. And if they turn out as people that people want to work with them, they respect them. By and large, when they're not around, the type of people want to be around, and they treat people with respect and as equals, and don't judge them other than by how they treat others, then I did my job. Mm-hmm. And I'll die peacefully with that. Yeah. If they don't turn out that way, then I'll have failed the one thing that I needed to get right in my life, that I needed to get right.
Yeah.
Not wanted to get right, needed to get right.
Yeah.
So that to me is everything. And again, it's different for everybody. And I'm not judging you right or wrong. You do what works best for you.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I want to enjoy my work because I have to support myself and I have to, help support my family with my wife. But it's like, if I'm going to be doing something, I hope I can like it. Yeah. I'm going to do everything I can to try to like it. I'm going to enjoy the relationships I have at work because if I'm going to be around people, like, let's get to know each other and fucking...
They're people.
Give a shit about each other,
that have lives.
Right.
That have,
and that's part of the thing that makes you enjoy work.
Yeah.
But if I didn't have to work, I wouldn't. Like, let's be clear.
Nobody wants to work.
Like, some people, you got to push yourself to the limit. Dude,
nobody...
if I could just see my family and go to different places on the earth and, now I want my family to be educated. I want my kids to be educated. But, like, I don't feel the need to, like, conquer the world to look at my life as a success. An enjoyed life is a successful life, in my opinion.
Again, to me, success does not come down to the size of your bank account or how many yachts you jet ski behind. That just means you made it in money. That's all. That means you're good at that. Does that make you a good person or a success in life? No, it does not.
But damn, the money can help you enjoy it.
Yeah.
You got to have a certain amount of money.
Well, no, you have to make a profit. You can't. This world is set up so you can't exist otherwise. You don't have a choice.
It's hard to enjoy your life if you don't have enough to make ends meet.
No, you don't have enough to make ends meet. We're very blessed here. We live in a cul-de-sac with great neighbors who are friends, not neighbors. The weather's great. There's space. The air's good. I mean, come on. This is a utopia for most of America. It is. If you told me 30 years ago you're going to be doing a sports talk show with a guy you didn't know for most of your life, but you're going to be best friends, and you're going to do this every Wednesday, and no one's going to give a shit, no one's going to stop you, and you can talk about the one thing you really love, I would have thought you were fucking crazy. Oh, you're doing the garage of the 3,000 square foot house you own on a cul-de-sac in Magnolia Green. I thought you were smoking something. No fucking way it's not going to happen to me, but it did.
And right as you say that, a missile comes and
Boom.
they're in Magnolia Green.
Magnolia Green. Boom.
Look at the light. You can see it from space.
But anyway, this Yoda-based tangent was brought to you by... the point is we were talking about the Detroit offensive coordinator who didn't take the Commander's job. And do you blame him? I don't blame him because he's in a place that they have a chance to win a Super Bowl next year. Washington, who knows what the hell they're going to do.
So I don't blame him at all, but I think it's interesting because it feels like there's a lot of coaches that the minute they get the opportunity, they take it. As opposed to really thinking about, where am I now? What trajectory am I on now? Mm-hmm. Could I finish things here and keep growing here and wait? Because every fucking year, 5 jobs open every year?
Every year, 4 or 5 on average.
At least, right?
NFL, yeah, at least.
I mean,
there were 8 this year.
So who knows? Maybe there's another place he'd rather be.
There'll be 4 or 5 next year. Yeah. And if the Lions win the Super Bowl next year, he's going to be the hottest commodity out there. Yeah. He'll be able to name his price. Right now, he's in a good position. 365 days from now, he could be in a great position. Yeah. So, and again,
he probably likes working with Campbell.
That's going under the assumption that that's his goal, which I don't even know if that is his goal.
Yeah.
I mean, Tex Winter, who was the architect of the triangle offense in Chicago and LA, never took a head coaching position. He just stayed behind the throne. Mm-hmm. Made his money, made a living. No one ever talked to him. No one ever judged him. It's a pretty nice life, actually. And he got to coach
He's
Michael
just an absolute badass behind the scenes.
Yeah, the architect of this offense with which Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant, Scottie Pippen ran roughshod through. They defined a couple of dynasties. Yeah, that's a pretty nice life. And never took the throne. Never wanted to be a head coach. So it can work. But again, to each their own on that. I mean, look, if I'm him, I get him wanting to go back there. They're a Super Bowl contender next year.
Yeah.
And if they do right in the draft and they get the couple of defensive pieces, look out because let's be honest.
Dr. Do-Right?
Let's be honest. The Detroit Lions are a coaching decision away from being in the Super Bowl. Because if that clown runs the ball the second half, we're not looking at the 49ers in 2 weeks. We're looking at Detroit. If he kicks the field goal and makes it 27-10, I don't think the Niners overcome that if he keeps running the ball. That's all he had to do. So they're close. They're closer than people think.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I just wanted to say, I think he probably likes working with Campbell.
Sure.
Campbell seems like a really good coach. I know he fucked up, but
he's done a lot more
right
right than
like
wrong.
Zach Wilson.
He's already gone. Yeah. He's already gone farther than a lot of coaches.
Dude, there's a clip of him, and I think it's from Hard Knocks, but his team's. This is in
Detroit.
Training camp.
Yeah.
Okay, not in Detroit.
Oh.
They're somewhere at training camp, and it's hot as shit.
Okay.
And they're all practicing.
Yeah.
And he's like, a lot of you are looking at me like I'm crazy. It was like, because you're in full pads, we're hitting each other. Mm-hmm. He's like, but I promise you, if I didn't think we needed to do this to get to where we want to go, I wouldn't be making you do it. Mm-hmm. He was like, you got to trust me on that.
Yeah.
He's like, some of you are looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's like, what are the 2 things that we preach on defense? Mm-hmm. Pursuit and tackle. Mm-hmm. And you can't do that if the other guys aren't going all out. Like, we have to do this. Yeah. And I just thought it was a great chance to really kind of explain the why behind why you're doing something.
What do I always ask our kids?
Why?
Why? Why do you think we're doing this? Ask the question. Ask me the question.
They don't fucking know.
They don't know. They don't even know to ask the question. Yeah. They don't even know why. But when you tell them, then their eyes kind of go, oh. There is. But
you always ask them, and they never know.
They never know. And that's okay. They're not supposed to. But if they understand the why behind
are we doing this? And everybody's like, why are we doing what?
Where are we right now? Who are you?
Is it Tuesday?
Am I?
What the hell is this guy doing talking about
this place? And what is that round thing?
Yes. Is that a large orange?
You gonna peel that?
And then you go a second time. Why? Why do you think? And I go, why do I think about what? Where?
What?
How do I think?
What? Oh, you mean basketball?
Oh,
That's right. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the look in their eyes. He's not kidding when he says it. But they're 9. That's what 9-year-olds do. But in any event, if you understand the why behind something, you're more inclined to do it.
And when you feel somebody explain it to you in that way,
Yeah.
it's like that dude is really trying to say, I care about you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make you do something you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Just trust in me.
Yeah, trust me.
So,
and look where they were.
He's good.
Look at what they did in 3 years. They went from 3-13 to 9-8 to 12-5. That is progress.
Yeah,
okay.
Hell yeah.
And they were on the doors. They were 1/2 away from the Super Bowl in 3 years. Mm-hmm. That's about as good as it gets, without making a giant free agent splash. They didn't go get Aaron Rodgers. They didn't go get a Tom Brady. They didn't do any of that.
They traded away their franchise quarterback.
They traded away their franchise quarterback and apparently got the black sheep in the litter. And look at what this kid turned into after Matt Patricia left, after they fired his sorry ass.
Well, he beat that guy.
That was the second best thing that they did, was fire his stupid ass. The first thing they did wrong was hire him. Okay, so, but in any event.
Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones.
Did you want to go into Jerry?
I did want to go into Jerry Jones. I was trying to segue into it, but what the fuck? Why not jump in, because he seems to like doing that. They asked him today, because, of course, Jerry Jones is at, of all places, the Senior Bowl. Because, there hasn't been any talk about the Cowboys in a couple weeks, so we have to stir up some more media, some more. We have to keep in the news. Why on earth would Jerry Jones be at the fucking Senior Bowl? Jerry Jones has never been there before. None of his peers are there. Never. Not as an owner. No, never. So why is he there now? Okay, and then he sits there and someone asked the Belichick question. Oh, I know Bill personally. I like Bill, and Bill and I would get together famously. We could work. No, never be a problem. No, none. He says none twice. And, then they go right to Jeff Saturday. And Jeff Saturday's face, it's like when Marcus Spears hears something that he's just like, what idiot. Who came up with that? Like, just how are you on this earth breathing? Like, Jeff Saturday had this look on his face like,
why?
Like, what? Where? Are you trying to sabotage your team? Are you openly trying to sabotage your team? Like, it's bad enough you've got Micah Parsons' family and CeeDee Lamb's family trashing your quarterback, but now you come out and...
And put your coach on the hot seat.
Your coach, you shouldn't still be your coach. Okay, but then you say this. Like, what the fuck are you... Is dementia set in? What is going on here? Are you kidding me? Just when I thought Jerry Jones couldn't get any dumber in terms of team building and chemistry and everything else. And the reality is Jeff Saturday, when he came back to earth and he realized that, it's Jerry Jones again being Jerry Jones, I know. He fouled out. The thing is...
I just wanted to see the interaction between
what?
Hurley and him, but it really wasn't much.
It wasn't much. But anyway, the thing is this. This guy has no... The reason they haven't won anything in 28 years is because this guy wasn't the reason they won the 3 that they won. It was Jimmy Johnson, and he's proved it. He has no understanding of chemistry, of cohesiveness, of things we just talked about in the last segment with the Celtics Knicks. Jerry Jones is just an idiot when it comes to that kind of stuff. Jerry Jones is all about how can I keep my product in the spotlight and up the stock value of it. That's all he cares about.
And most things he does impacts that.
And
stuff on
thank God for Jeff Saturday and who's the other guy who said this? He goes, here's the reality. Jerry Jones is more interested in being the face of the Dallas Cowboys than winning a Super Bowl. Because if he was really interested in winning a Super Bowl, he'd have hired Belichick on the spot. Okay? Because Belichick is the better coach. And all the things the Cowboys suffer from, lack of discipline, fundamentals, rules of the game, all these things that Bill Belichick, that's his staple, and he's out there. You don't want to win if you don't make a phone call and get, what's it going to take to get you here? Because I'm through with this shit. Okay? No. He didn't do that.
But what if Bill wants a GM?
If I'm Jerry Jones and I've got one foot in the grave, and the team, by the way, the team's built.
But if anybody can fuck it up, it's Bill.
All Bill has to do is draft defense, and I know he can draft defense. He can make Micah Parsons. He coached Lawrence Taylor. Who better than him to get the most out of Micah Parsons?
That's a good point.
Okay, so he can fix everything that ails this team, from a fundamental, from a coaching, X's and O's. There's nobody better. There's nobody better in the history of this game, X's and O's wise, than Bill Belichick. Nobody. This is what they're lacking. And this guy answers every one of those questions. And he didn't go get him? He didn't make a phone call? You gotta be.
I mean, that could also say something about
but
how
this is
people feel Bill.
But this goes back to his ego. Because if Bill Belichick gets hired, the Dallas Cowboys are no longer Jerry Jones is no longer the face of the Dallas Cowboys. Bill Belichick is. Instantaneously. And Molly Karen was like, but he doesn't do interviews. Molly, I love you, but just stop. Stop talking. Stop talking, Molly. Because, and Mad Dog Carter goes, no, you understand. If Bill Belichick is the coach, it's Bill Belichick's Cowboys now. And it would be, because Bill's the one with 6 rings. Okay, Bill's the one who took the Patriots, who were the laughingstock of the league, and made him the greatest dynasty in the history of the sport. Okay, as the coach, as the G, he did all of that. Okay, he fell apart at the end, and his ego got in the way. But this team's built. The quarterback's there. He's good enough to get the right coach. He'll get Dak Prescott to stop pooping in his pants. If anybody can do it, it's Bill Belichick.
They need a bucket.
And Bill Belichick walks in, and what's he got that they don't have? He's got rings. If you're Micah Parsons, and you're Dak Prescott, and you're CeeDee Lamb, and Bill Belichick walks through the door tomorrow as your coach, you sit down, you shut the fuck up, and you do everything that man tells you to do without question. Without question. Because all you are getting right now is questions. All of them. About your character, about your talent, about your football acumen, about being a team, about coming up short, and when the bully gets hit in the mouth, you're a bunch of front-running fronts. That's all you are right now. The only guy that could change that right now in 1 year would be Bill Belichick. He's the only guy they would listen to. And all he'd have to do is do this. You got something else to say to me? Oh, that's right. You don't have one of these. Oh, you want one? You shut the fuck up and listen. Okay? That's all he'd have to do. Doesn't have to fuck with the roster. You want to draft defense, Bill? Good. Draft defense. We get killed on the run. Bill Belichick knows how to stop the run. I think Bill knows how to stop the run. I've seen him do it more than once. Okay? He'll get those guys in there. He'll get you a middle linebacker like you read about that'll rip people's head off and crap down their necks. He'll do it. He'll find that guy. He can do that. Okay? And that's all Dallas is missing. And Jerry Jones didn't even inquire about it. That's his ego. I said the 2 biggest egos in this sport were Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick. One cost him his job. The other one's going to cost him a chance at ever winning a championship again. And we've been saying that. I've been telling people for years, you're not going to win until Jerry Jones dies because he ain't going to sell the franchise. And he's not going to demote himself, and he's not going to bring somebody in here with a bigger clout and ego than him. He can't handle it. It's got to be his team. That's why he fired Jimmy Johnson. That's exactly why he fired him. But like
Greg Giannotti always says, pricks never die.
They don't. So. Pricks live forever. Which is why if you hate the Cowboys like I do, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. And again, how can the Cowboy fans, when they say they're going to run it back with a quarterback who's known to choke and a coach who can't get it done, how does that, even the most delusional Cowboy fan can't look at that and go, this next year we're going to do it. Oh, yeah, next year we're going to do it. Oh, yeah, next year, yeah.
I mean, what's going to change next year for them?
Nothing.
Brock
Purdy already has more playoff wins in 2 years than Dak Prescott has in 9. That's disgusting. That's absolutely, utterly disgusting. Okay? And he's not the only one. Jalen Hurts. I go around, there's 4 or 5 of these.
How many playoff wins does he have?
He's got 2.
Danny Dimes has 1.
Danny Dimes, with no talent around him except for Saquon Barkley, has 1.
Dude, I saw an interesting clip today.
The Dallas Cowboys have 4 playoff wins in the last 29 years.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's so bad.
I saw a clip today. Because remember when I said... I saw an article about why the Saquon Barkley pick at number 2 set them back.
Oh, yes. You had mentioned that.
And you were like, well, it's all the other picks that they blew too. Yeah. So that's true. However, Dave Gettleman, oh man, he's built different. So he was at number 2, and apparently everybody thought Sam Darnold was going to go 1, Baker Mayfield was going to go 2. Or would be the second quarterback, number 3 to the Jets. Okay?
Okay.
However, Carolina, Baker went first to Cleveland. Okay?
Yep.
Which then opened the door for other teams to get Sam Darnold. And John Elway loved Sam Darnold. John Elway called the Giants, would have given them the farm to get Sam Darnold. And Dave Gettleman didn't pick up the phone. Because he loved Saquon Barkley.
Well, he didn't grab Sam Darnold.
Well, that's
true. What a bust that would have been.
But he drafted a running back
He didn't just draft
which
any
is
running back.
not a premium position,
Not anymore.
and could have gotten, what?
Bust.
Couple ones, couple twos.
Again, they had other draft picks. They had other high draft picks. They missed on most of them. So, if you're going to tell me, see what is?
How do you let a guy stay there for 5 years?
My problem
Just
is
destroy your franchise.
There's the problem. You have the ammo to get this stuff. This guy just kept firing blanks. He hits on Saquon Barkley because he's a can't miss it too.
He's a can't miss.
He's the only one he really hits on, and that pick sent him back. No, it was the dickhead making the picks that set him back, because he either missed on his picks or he missed on his coaching or both.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he did both. He fucked up. He didn't have the right coaches, or he didn't draft the right players. One or the other, or it's a little bit of both.
Oh yeah.
All
of the above.
All of the above. So to me, the mistake is not drafting Saquon at 2. It's the boob that made all the picks after that he got wrong, and hired the wrong coaches and everything else. That's the problem, not where you picked in the draft. Listen.
If he had gotten a bunch of picks for that too, I mean, as much as I love Saquon, I mean, Saquon's been the best Giant for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yep.
So nothing against Saquon.
And he's been loyal.
Oh yeah.
And
he's been fucked.
Yeah, he's been fucked. They
The
fucked
guy
him.
should have been paid
If
already.
anything, they fucked him.
That's ridiculous.
They fucked him. And they should.
Give Danny Dimes a $140 or whatever the fuck.
And Danny Dimes, look, he didn't deserve that money.
Yeah.
He deserved a raise, but not because he played.
Not his fault that he got it.
I mean, he got it, but I mean, and honestly,
for the Giants to give all that to Danny Dimes and to shit on
It's a
Saquon.
2-year deal. It's over after next year anyway. It's short money.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to cripple you 10 years. It's not.
But the fact that, okay, so you couldn't have offered Danny Dimes 33?
Look, this goes back to me, this is the Jaylen Brown argument. The sellers could have got Jaylen Brown for $240 million because nobody could offer more than 180.
Right.
And they gave him 304, which put a bullseye on his back the size of Mount Washington. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Now the only way to justify that contract, and I said this on the air, is you got to win world championships, plural, or it's a bust. Mm-hmm. One is not going to do it. He's got to win 2 or 3 in the next 5 years. And that contract, he's going to look like an idiot. But you paid this and you didn't win what? You didn't win any championships? What a bunch of donkeys you are. Okay? So this is with Danny Dimes, at least it was short money. So it's not going to cripple you for 10 years. And honestly, that's kind of the market rate for a playoff quarterback now. They're all making about around 30 to 40 million. So he's not getting overpaid. He's in his...
No, but...
We just said he has one playoff win, half a decade. He has nowhere near the talent around him.
But it's similar to what you're saying about Jaylen Brown. Yeah. Who else would have given Daniel Dimes more than...
Nobody.
More than 32
30 would have been the ceiling.
32 million.
Yeah.
Okay, even that is outrageous.
It's outrageous.
But if you chop $8 million off of that 40, now you can give Saquon a 2-year, $24 million deal. Even that is fucking weak as shit.
Yeah.
Because the guy's worth 20 a year.
Yeah.
But the market is saying you don't have to pay him that. I mean, you could have given Saquon $15 million a year for a few years.
I didn't know that Danny Dimes didn't play well this year, but he didn't have much help either. He's very similar.
The tough part is his backups played better.
Yeah, but his backups played better at the end of the year when they got through the meat of their schedule. I would like to see his backups play the gauntlet he played in the first 6 weeks and tell me what they did. Because honestly, the first 6 weeks, their schedule was murder. 7 weeks, murder.
Yeah, but I mean, the backups played better against Dallas. They played better against Philly.
They played better against them because they took them lightly. That's all it was. That's really what it was. It was.
Still played better than them.
I wouldn't. Dallas to me is not the benchmark here.
Dude, Dallas spanked them 40-0 the first week.
First week of the season. Yeah, when they were all hopped up and hyped up and all that had stuff to prove, and yeah, they actually showed up. I don't think they showed up in that game. And I've got a number of games to prove when Dallas didn't show up also, besides that one. So it's not a fluke that they didn't show up because that's who they are. The Cowboys are not a measuring stick by any stretch of the imagination. If that's your example, good luck, because honestly, that doesn't hold any water at all.
When you lose by 40 to the Cowboys playing good against them is a measuring stick.
The Cowboys are the more talented team. They should beat them on every time. They should beat them 40-0 every game. The fact they don't, yes, it's not bullshit. They're that much more talented than they are.
Dable is supposedly this god coach that builds culture and has everybody in the right spot. Blah blah blah.
The Cowboys had
and you lose 40-0
Pro Bowlers this year,
and they pooped themselves.
How many did the Giants have?
I don't know.
None.
And no Pro Bowlers?
None. You didn't have one. And you're going to fucking tell me that they shouldn't boat race them 40-0 when they got 14 fucking Pro Bowls and you don't got one?
Okay, so then you pull in a backup quarterback, and now they play better
against the team. They take their foot off the
team.
gas.
Okay.
You tell me Dallas hasn't done this before?
I'm not saying Dallas hasn't done this
Dallas
before.
has a history of doing what we just talked about. Oh, this guy played better against Dallas because Dallas was looking at him going,
Also,
who's that?
Dallas usually doesn't play well against good teams. They play well against Danny Dimes and the Giants.
I'm just saying, the Cowboys have a history of doing what you just said to everybody. So
That's not true. When
It's
they
true.
play a good team, they always fail. When they play bad teams, they usually
Did they beat
them.
them?
Did who beat them?
Did they beat him the second time?
Dallas beat them.
What was the score?
I don't know. It wasn't 40-0.
It wasn't close either all that. Was it a one-score game? What was it?
I don't remember. Let's see.
What was it? Was it a Donnie? Because it was. I mean, to me, the Dallas was like, okay, we'll just show up and beat them because they stink, and we proved that in week 1. They hit him with their knockout punch. It was over at halftime. That was the first game.
No, that game was over in the first fucking quarter.
Okay, the first quarter.
40-0, dude.
No, it wasn't over at halftime. It was over
Yeah,
the
the
first
second one was a boat racing.
Yeah, so shut the fuck up. You actually went down to the wire.
No, but
What was the score?
Dude, it wasn't as bad
what was
as
the score?
49-17.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, but he played better.
It was 7-0 in the first quarter, which I'm going to go back and look. But it was 28-0 in the first half.
Yeah.
Giants scored 17 in the second half.
Yeah, when Dallas pulled everybody.
Kind of the same thing. But basically, it was the same.
Same shit.
Let's see.
Anyway.
Oh no! So the first game was.
He's just trying to find
Pretty much
I'm going to get one part of this right.
No. It was pretty much the same. It was 16-0 in the first quarter, which was worse. Then it was 26-0 by the end of the half, so not as bad. And then the Giants did not score in the second half, even though Danny Dimes played the entire fucking game.
Yeah.
And there was backups in the second half. Now, Daboll was an asshole for keeping him in that game. Remember it was raining?
Nobody in that team played well.
Oh, God.
Honestly, when you get beat that bad, it's not the quarterback. The whole team sucks. Like Dak Prescott's got a lot of shit for the Green Bay game, but Jeff Saturday brought up the defense gave up 6.5 yards per play. 6? Did you hear me, America? 6.5 yards per play. Oof. And how is that Dak Prescott's fault again?
That game was shocking.
Give me a break. The whole team sucked. When you get beat that bad, the whole team sucks. Okay, so pitting that on the quarterback when your defense is giving up 6.5 yards a play, that's embarrassing. Go home. Just go home. Micah Parsons, shut up and go home. All of you, shut up. Don't blame Dak Prescott when you got boat raced.
Micah Parsons' mom.
Yeah, Micah Parsons' mom. Sit down and shut up, Mom, honestly. Your son sucks. He's overrated, okay? People were talking about the next
Micah
LT.
Parsons
The next LT would never have fucking no-showed like that. I know for a fact that he never did. He always showed up. LT always showed up when it mattered most. That's why he's LT.
Well, he had the devil's dandruff in his pocket.
He did. Maybe Micah should take some. Just saying. Do something. I wonder
if there are a lot of athletes that do that nowadays.
I don't know.
I feel like athletes are healthier these days.
They are. Overall, they are. They have off-season programs. They have nutrition. Mm-hmm. They all have a nutritionist now. Mm-hmm. There were no nutritionists back in the 80s, in the 90s. Nutritionist? What the fuck? A nutritionist? What the fuck's that?
Dude, Donnie in Portland.
I know, we're watching it. Portland is beating the.
Oh, really?
Portland is beating. It's on. Portland is beating the Bucks right now at the half, 67-65. The Bucks are awful. I can't.
Bucks giving up 67.
I'm telling you,
Blazers.
the Knicks are going to pass them.
I hope you're right.
Barring major injury, barring Jalen Brunson going down, the Knicks.
Shut up! Don't even say that.
I'm saying it's the only way they don't pass him.
Don't even bring that up.
Why? If he goes down, you get a pass.
Don't utter the phrase from your lips.
I think that I said he won't go down.
Stop talking about it.
You keep talking about Porzingis. That's okay?
Oh, please.
So that's okay.
The guy's made of glass.
No, he's not. He played 65 games last year.
Okay.
No, not made of glass. So anyway.
Porzingis has game. I don't mean to disrespect Porzingis. It just felt like he wasn't on the court in New York. But really it came down to their team stunk.
What did he have around him?
What was he supposed to do?
What was he supposed to do? Yeah, you have nothing around you. What are you supposed to do? Like Washington last year, he had one guy, and that guy was out 1 foot out the door, Bradley Beal. Mm-hmm. And so what did he have there? He put up 24 and 8, and no one cared because the team around him stunk. But to me, the fact that he played 65 games in that mess, when most guys would have found a way out of that mess, he played through it. That tells me something about his character. Because a lot of guys wouldn't.
Fuck out of here.
It does. Most guys wouldn't. They'd all be saying, "Get me out of here." I'm not fucking shit. They'd be making up excuses to fucking take a day off.
It just tells me all I need to know about his character.
Look,
I understand you love Kristaps Porzingis.
I do, because he has character. And that proved it. I just gave you the reason why I loved him, and you're mocking me. I know you love him. Well, yeah, I just said not many guys would do that. That tells me something about his character. That's why I like him. I couldn't stand Carmelo. I couldn't stand Carmelo Anthony. Very talented player. Scored 28,000 points. Hall of Famer. What an asshole he was. Fucking break.
I was never a fan of Melo.
He was a donkey. He really was. I mean, it just... Oh, what a waste of talent.
Did you hear a couple weeks ago, he won a national championship?
Yeah,
Did you hear?
They were the most talented team in the country.
2 weeks ago, I think it was, I don't know if it was his podcast or somebody else's podcast, he said Denver purposely gave his number to Jokic to stick it to him. And everybody's like,
good.
Jokic was a second rounder that nobody fucking knew about.
Nobody knew about him.
They gave out your number because you left there, and everybody knows you for being on the Knicks and really not doing anything for the Knicks.
No.
I mean, people talk about Melo like he's a Patrick Ewing type Knick. And I'm sorry.
Couldn't hold
Just
Patty
not
Ewing's
there.
jock. Couldn't hold Patty Ewing's jock.
He was a great Knick. I mean, now, I have to admit, for the past 20 years, I haven't watched the Knicks much. They weren't on national TV a lot. You know, the past 4 or 5 years, that's changed a little bit. But there was like a 10-year stretch the Knicks were not on national TV.
Because they stunk.
Because they were awful. And when he was on them, they had a couple years where they made the playoffs. I remember that year they had Jason Kidd. Mm-hmm. Remember?
Yeah.
But they couldn't get past the second round.
Yeah.
They might have won the first round out. Yeah. But I don't know. He scored a lot.
He scored a lot of points. He was a scorer.
But he always shot the ball. Like,
he took a lot of shots.
He took so many shots.
A lot of shots.
He was not a very
That
efficient
man
scorer.
never met a shot he didn't like.
And he would do things where you go, holy shit, that was amazing.
Yeah. No, he was a very good scorer.
Yeah, he really was.
But it was the other stuff that he couldn't. That's why him and LeBron came in together, basically. They were supposed to be the great rivalry, and it never happened because Melo never got his team. Denver was the closest. His second year, he had him and Chauncey.
A pretty good team.
Him and Chauncey Billups, they were good. They got to the conference finals, they lost to Kobe and Shaq, but they were good. Like if they'd stayed together,
I forgot Chauncey was on that.
If they had stayed together, that team could have done. George Karl was the coach.
Did Chauncey go from there to the Pistons?
Yeah, because they won in 04.
And that's when he won.
Yeah, that's when he won.
George Karl, that's right.
George Karl. If they had kept that Denver team together, they could have won.
I always kind of liked the dynamic between Melo and Karl. They seemed like a good coach star.
Well, I don't know why how he got out of Denver or why he did it, but that team had potential.
I think that relationship soured, if I remember right.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened, but to me, I thought that was a big what if. One of the big what if that team had stayed together. Well, it's kind of like Oklahoma City Thunder. What if they had kept Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Harden together? Like they were all young when that happened.
No, they all need a max.
They all had to be the man. They couldn't be a team. It's fucking the perfect example of what not.
We all need a max contract.
We all have to be the best guy. Fuck this guy. I don't care who he is. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. They get to the finals, they lose, and they fucking blow it up. Like you're all under 25. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Only a fucking moron does that. It's like,
but I remember that Denver team when they trade Melo to the Knicks. The Knicks basically gave Denver their whole team.
Yeah.
Gallinari went. Mm-hmm. I can't even remember anybody else. But they sent half the team to Denver. And Denver actually remained a pretty competitive team.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't really feel like the Knicks did.
Yeah.
Knicks were just kind of blah.
Blah. So, but the point is, like, look, with Melo, yeah, great talent, but he missing everything else. His talent got him 28,000 points. Everything else they didn't have prevented him from ever winning a championship. And he'll get in the Hall of Fame because of his numbers, but no one's going to remember him as one of the all-time great anythings. He won't be remembered that way. Oh, yeah, he could score, but he never met a shot he didn't like, and it was always him first and fuck everybody else, and that's what he's always remembered. So, anyway, that's our show.
We'll end on that note.
We'll end on that note. Oh, this weekend.
Sorry, Melo.
This weekend, Houston at Houston at Kansas, 4 o'clock. Carolina Duke, the greatest rivalry in college sports, renews itself at 6:30. They're both ranked in the top 10.
Speaking of Chauncey Billups.
And then the nightcap, if you will, number 5 Tennessee at number 10 Kentucky. They both lost in the past 24 hours.
Doc Rivers is on hands on his knees, looking at the ground.
Yeah. Looking for dig a grave for himself. We're fucking in this
Is he
game.
okay? Look at him.
Yeah, he can't believe it. Can't believe it.
He's like, I can't watch this shit.
How is this 14 and 33 team hanging around?
How we let? Oh, jeez.
Oh my God.
That's the same thing our kids do.
Foul.
And then this guy. Oh
no!
2 turnovers in 1 fucking possession. God. I mean, I guess it's not 1 possession, but my God, damn.
I feel bad for Doc Rivers. He got the ship is the Titanic.
Dude, every weekend, in our 9-year-old boys, they come up the court in the first 2 plays. They make a weak bounce pass from the top of the key to the wing, gets picked off for a fucking layup. Every game.
Twice, the first 2 possessions of every game.
Now,
3 times.
Fucking Lillard just did the same thing.
Yeah.
Tried to throw a weak pass to Giannis. They go on a fast break. Dame strips the guy, then tries to pass to Giannis under his own basket. Picked off for a dunk. Now they just gave up more transition.
Somehow, Portland is up 3 in the 3rd quarter.
This is a Donnie. I love it.
Anyway,
love it.
Those games, the Gigglesmoke guarantee. I have to pick something.
The Gigglesmoke selection?
Yeah, the selection. The Gigglesmoke pick of the week, whatever the fucking call it. The Gigglesmoke. I don't know.
The Gigglesmoke, you know, we could win this week.
I don't know. The Gigglesmoke, maybe. We call it the Gigglesmoke, maybe.
The Gigglesmoke, definitely maybe.
The Gigglesmoke 50-50 of the week.
The Gigglesmoke toss-up. The Gigglesmoke roll of the dice.
You know, I never
smoke here nor there.
I always pick the game that's probably the hardest one to pick every week, so I take solace in that. But I've lost 3 in a row, so I'm not. I was 12-4. I was looking pretty good. Now it's not good. 12-7. So I got to get a win this week, but I'm not gonna pick a gimme to do it.
What do we got out there?
I just said we've got 6 top 10 opponents facing off this Saturday.
Okay.
So you've got Houston going to Kansas.
Have you watched enough of them to really know?
I've watched all these teams. You've got Duke going to Carolina. And they both are good.
That's the one.
Yeah, that maybe. And then you've got the nightcap Tennessee, who's 5th, going to Kentucky, who's 10th. Now here's the problem. All of the home teams have lost this week. So for me to do this right, I have to pick the one that's going to lose back-to-back. And they're all top 10 teams. Are you fucking serious? This is murderer's row. Now, my heart would say, well, if you're going to do this, pick fucking Duke because Duke's your team and all that, you know.
You're going to pick UNC?
I'm not picking the game, period.
Okay. I kind of would have liked that.
Well, I mean, I think USC would win that game. It's at the Dean. All things being equal. I think Duke will beat them when they play at Cam. I think they're going to split, quite honestly. But I can't see Duke going in there, especially with Carolina coming off the loss last night to Georgia Tech.
Gigglesmoke maybe?
Gigglesmoke maybe.
Is UNC?
No.
By 10?
I am going to pick... I'm going to eat it for this, I know it. But I'm going to pick Houston going into Kansas and beating Kansas.
And Houston's what, 4th?
4th and Kansas is 8th. But Kansas at home, if you look at Kansas's record at home, they have the best home record in college basketball over the past 15 years.
Not as good as Providence.
Better.
That was a joke.
I know. Better. Just significantly better. Like the best in the country.
I mean, that coach said that's the hardest place to play in the country.
And I don't know.
Providence Friars.
It is.
Hardest place
unless you're in Allen Fieldhouse.
Right. Unless you're in 10 other
Topeka, Kansas.
Unless you're in 10 other
or if you're in Cameron Indoor,
right.
or if you're in the Dean Dome. Those places aside. Stores, Connecticut. Just throwing it out there. I don't know. Maybe, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to pick Houston Cougars to go in and upset Kansas in James Naismith Stadium there. That's going to be a hell of a game. They're all going to be great games. As much as I want to see Duke beat Carolina. I just can't see them going in there after. If Carolina had boat raced Georgia Tech, I might have felt differently. But Carolina is going to be ramped up for this game. They've got to win this game.
When did Carolina play Georgia Tech?
Last night they lost 74-73.
Carolina?
Yeah, I said the 13th ranked went down. I said
Virginia Tech just beat Georgia Tech Saturday.
Yeah. Georgia Tech came home and beat them by 1 point. 74-73.
It's a tough loss.
So I can't see Carolina going home, and here comes Duke, who's won 11 out of 12.
So you're saying now Carolina's going to win against
Duke?
Duke?
They're going to win that game.
Maybe it woke them up a little bit.
But, Duke, they were going to be rare. It's Duke. But now you throw this loss on the fire on top of it, it's just going to be too much. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not going to be a great game. It usually is. But I think Carolina's going to win it. Anyway, my Gigglesmoke maybe, or 50-50, whatever.
It's still a guarantee.
Throw it up in the air.
12-7. You're 5 over. Maybe that's 12.
Houston goes into Kansas and wins at Donnie in Allen Fieldhouse. I don't know if you want to do 2 cents with Tommy. Or you don't have 2 cents?
I don't really have 2 cents
we'll
tonight.
Save that for.
Well, we already had to talk about career motivations.
Yeah.
I think that kind of falls under a 2 cents moment.
Yeah, cool.
Talking about success, happiness.
Yeah, how you define success.
Right.
I think it's different for everyone.
Other than that, I don't really have a lot on my mind. It's been a nice week.
We have to now. Next week will be Super Bowl weekend, and he and I are going to make a couple of predictions. One of them is going to be the soil in your shorts selection of the week, and we are going to.
Oh man!
We are going to make our picks on the air. Who do we think for the Niners is going to soil their shorts?
Oh, that's good.
We're going to make that pick next week along with our picks for the game. That'll be Wednesday, but on Monday we're going to recap.
Look at this. How is that a foul?
Because he raised the elbow up. If he had stood still,
did he?
Yeah, he went like this. If he just held still,
I didn't think he did that.
He did. The replay shows he did it. Go back. He literally goes like that. Watch it again. Go back.
Okay.
Watch this again. He literally brings the arm up. Watch this. Ready? Right there. Brings the left bow up. That's what it looked. That's why he called. If he'd stayed down, they wouldn't have called it.
It was just kind of like a reactionary like that. I don't think he nailed the guy.
No, he brought it up like that. Like, get off me, motherfucker.
The guy ran into him.
Anyway, we will preview the Super Bowl on Wednesday. Monday, we will recap the Celtics and the Knicks both taking their crack at the fake show. Hopefully they cram it up their crack and send LA with their tail between legs back to the left coast.
Who do y'all have after the Lakers? Because we have the Pacers, then the Lakers.
We have a little bit of a break. We don't play again until Sunday, but I forget who it is we're playing. Because they played 3 and 4 nights with the Lakers. So we'll see. But Boston and New York really have a chance to put LA down and out. And I hope they do. I want to see the look on that clown's face. But until then, you guys enjoy the weekend. I know it's a football free. A lot of good college basketball this weekend. Giannis. Enjoy the college basketball this weekend. And the Redoubtable and the High Question, we will pick it up on the other side. We'll see you guys next Monday. So until then, peace.
Oh, no.